Hello, you guys, and thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Journey Podcast, where I am your host, Kiera. Woo! I'm always so excited to spend time with y'all. I hope y'all are having a good week. My week it has been very eventful, very busy, and yeah, I'm glad. I'm looking forward to next week. Next week's events that I have planned, and so um, woo. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just dive into today's episode, because this is one that's really been weighing on me. It is currently a right now kind of thing, but I'm navigating through it pretty good. Today we're gonna talk about avoiding things that we need to face. Um, and it can be on different levels in different aspects. Sometimes the avoidance is of things that we need to handle. Sometimes it's of taking the next step in whatever it is that you're doing. Um, for me, business. I will start it. Well, I've started something, um, and I got the foundation set. However, I've been avoiding taking the next step, and I'm going to take accountability to and say that because yeah, that's me. That's definitely me being transparent because I've been avoiding taking the next step. Why have I been avoiding taking the next step? I am actually really not sure. Um, Sometimes I think the avoidance is just a fear of what the next level might look like or what it might require of me. And so, I can see that being a thing. As far as like things that you have to take care of and avoiding it, I'm just gonna throw some example out there. Um, Maybe okay, let's start small. Sometimes, I was talking to somebody. I'm not gonna say who the person is, but I was talking to somebody and they were saying, once they felt like they spent a lot of money, they avoid looking at their bank account. And I'm like, why you don't want to, why you don't want to look? And so they were telling me like they don't want to see the damage that they've done. Um, they already know in their heart and in their mind they're gonna figure it out anyway. So might as well don't even look. And I was like, I want to look. Like I'm the type of person I'm gonna look. If I'm very strategic with my finances, and so when I'm not spending before I see what I have. Um, which is why sometimes I'll go without things, but those people are the people that have all the things that they want, have all the things that they need, and like they're just navigating through life, figuring things out. But I don't like to have to figure things out because that's just a pressure that I just don't want to have. But some people thrive under that pressure and they do really well. And you would never be able to tell that that's how their mind works. Um, and so they said, I don't want to look at my bank account after I know that I've spent a lot. I just know I spend a lot of money. I bought that was $300. That was $250. That was $175. That was $40. And now I don't want to see the damage that has been done. I know where I started at. I don't want to know where I'm at right now. It is what it is. Whatever is not done, I'll figure it out. Which I kind of like. That to me, that is a daredevil mindset. I've always been like, hold on, let's check that, let's check that, let's check. And so, I admire people that can do that. I admire people that function like that. Sometimes it's a responsibility. Let's say sometimes. Oh, let me tell y'all this story about myself. Um, I got a ticket for speeding, and like super speeding, and so um, I I know that I needed to handle it, and I was like, oh, let me. I missed the date to pay. I missed the court date. I missed the time to pay. When I found that ticket in my car, I found it in the glove box. I was like, oh my god, I forgot about this. I never been in trouble. So here I was scared to go, I was scared that they were gonna take my license. And this is a long time ago, y'all. But I was so scared that they were going to take my license that I was just like, I'm never going to the DMV. Like, they just gonna have to get me, and whatever is gonna happen, it's just gonna have to happen. Um, and you know what? I got a tow truck thing because my I hadn't been to the DMV, and so I got a thing from the tow truck saying that they were going to tow my car, and so I was like, because y'all going too far. And y'all, it was so crazy. Like, so in this aspect, I don't do it anymore. Because it's like I went through the process. I was like, oh, I gotta go get my stuff straight. And so I went and got my stuff straight. Y'all, no hassle, no nothing. It was no like it was I felt like I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, I am a thug. I am a gangster. I'm just out here living like a criminal. And so, went to the DMV, the registration place, and and I went to the one, the DMV that goes really fast, and it's just like, hurry up, get on through. I had my hat on, you can, and I was like, oh God, these people are gonna know me. They're gonna talk about me bad, y'all. All I had to pay was $50. And so here I was avoiding something that was just not even that serious. And so me avoiding that could have been a setback for me. That could have, that could have held me back from it. And so let me talk about avoidance. First things first, why are we avoiding things? So we're avoiding things because of the simple fact that um sometimes facing it is scary. Like, you don't know what you're gonna have to deal with. I didn't know if those people gonna lock me up. They're gonna take me to jail. I ain't never been in jail. I don't want to go to jail. I just and so here I was avoiding something to prevent something when really I could have just took care of my business and got that, just prevented a lot of anxiety that just was unnecessary. It was unnecessary anxiety, you guys. Um, Sometimes that avoidance is just fear of what's next. What am I gonna have to take on after I finish this part? Me starting was one thing. Me even acknowledging that this needs to be done was one step. And so me getting past the beginning stage was already a lot. And so here I am, um, here I am, trying to take on more, trying to move forward. And I really wanted to try, like, honestly, I really wanted to try to connect it to a childhood trauma. Like, I really feel like it's deeper than the fact that I just want to um, avoid the next level, the next step, or I want to prevent something from happening. When the whole time, guys, we're not preventing anything. We're running from something that's gonna keep chasing us. It's not gonna go away because you avoided it. A situation is not gonna not be there because you avoided it. It's not gonna take care of itself because you avoided it. It's just gonna like and you facing it is only going to um it's gonna make you bolder. You facing it is gonna make you braver. It's gonna give you that confidence that you need. Um and then we say that we're not scared of anything, but really we're scared of reactions from people. Sometimes the things that we're avoiding are conversations that need to be had. Sometimes we're avoiding those. Sometimes we're allowing people to get away with things that that we're not okay with because we're simply avoiding what we think might be conflict. Whole time, they don't even know that we don't like that. They don't know that they don't know how we feel about that, or whatever it is. They don't know because we've been avoiding this conversation. And the whole time this conversation may open another door. It may unlock a new level. Um it may allow you to see them for who they really are. And sometimes those people that do things that we don't like, sometimes they really don't even like us. And they're gonna like, okay, so what? And their reaction is gonna tell them everything you need to know, as far as like how to move forward. And so I think this avoidance is, well, I know that this avoidance is was hindering myself and anybody else that's like on the same wavelength as I am right now. It's preventing us from moving forward. And it's like, how do we grow if we're afraid to move forward? And it's hard to say, oh, I'm afraid to move forward, because in my mind, that's not the case. I want to move forward. Like, I want to embrace moving forward. And so I say that boldly and unapologetically, but really my actions are showing that I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm scared. I'm scared to move forward. And that's the reality of it. And so sitting in that and just thinking, and I'm really actively trying to analyze why, um, what are my reservations when it comes to facing these things? What are my reservations when it comes to, boldly taking on, um, the next steps, the new task, um, applying, ooh, um, taking that step out on faith, taking that leap, making that big purchase, making that financial decision that could change my life for better or for worse. And you know what I'm learning, guys? I'm really learning that life is all about taking risk. Life is about, like, not being so, um, and I say taking risk, but really it's just stepping out on faith. And when I like, cause a risk to me is like, okay, I'm not sure what the outcome might be, but I'm gonna just do it just to see. So, um, a lot of the time I say, I ask myself, what do you have to lose? And I will answer myself, and I'm like, my mind. I'll be done lost my mind. And I want to stop claiming that. I don't want to say that I'm gonna lose my mind if things don't work out the way that I want them to, the way that I plan. Because in the end, um, I I'm learning to accept the fact that I, if anything, if I didn't gain what I wanted to gain from it, I gain knowledge. I gain, knowledge on how to, work the process. I learn what doesn't work, what does work. Um, I learn new ways to put things together where it's like, okay, maybe that little part didn't work, but something else in that did work. So I'm gonna take that and then I'll add it with the new approach or whatever the case may be. And guys, we need to take care of the things that are there. We need to face the things that we've been putting off. Face our fears, face our, um like the things that make us anxious, so that it's no longer a fear. How can I move boldly if I'm afraid? Like, um how can I walk with my head held high and I'm like afraid of what's around the corner, you know? I say I'm ready to grow, but I'm afraid of what's next. And growth is about next, 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 next. What's next? What's next? The next level. And so, yeah, I don't know. And I'm just being real with y'all. Like, I've avoided more than just the next step in my business. I've avoided a lot of things, and it's just like facing it feels uncomfortable, but facing it is necessary. And it's like, here we are, we're avoiding these things, which is basically us running from, maybe it's a responsibility. Some let me talk about let me talk about this young man real quick. I'm gonna talk about a young man. I know a guy that avoids conversation, um, with his kid, his kids, because he's afraid of the fact that they might ask him, when's the next time we'll see you? Um, he and I were having a conversation, and I it almost made me cry because I wanted to just like, wow, like he said he knows, he took accountability, and I had to respect that at the least. I not the biggest fan of people that don't do what they're supposed to do for their kids. I'm just not. And when I say do what you're supposed to do for your kids, I'm talking about all around the board. Um but we're not going to get into that. Um, he was saying, he was saying that, you know, he had kids young, and he became a father at a young age where um he wasn't prepared to make mature decisions. And so his inability to make mature decisions affected how he showed up, and the fact that he didn't show up. And so here his kids are, they're older, and they're capable of making phone calls, talking to him themselves, and he doesn't answer. Why doesn't he answer? So I asked him, like, why? Why not? And he's like, I'm afraid they're gonna ask me why I wasn't there. I'm afraid that they're gonna ask me when is the next time they can come with me. And so I'm like, why can't they come with you? And he said, even in the time of my unpreparedness, I still wasn't getting prepared to be a good dad to them. And so he said it's just easier to, he said it hurts in the moment that I'm avoiding them, but it's just easier to not take on um it's just easier to not take it on all at once, he said, because he didn't know how. And I'm like, why? He never had the guidance. He never had, and that's no excuse. It's at all. It's no excuse for you to, because I honestly felt like because you didn't have a good dad, that should have made you want to be a good dad. And and that's my mindset, and that's my mental approach to it. However, everybody doesn't think like that. They're thinking like, I don't know how to do that. And as bad, don't get me wrong, I wanted to judge him. I did. I was like you should want to be a good dad because you didn't have a good dad, and you know what it feels like to not have a good dad. And what if you didn't have a good dad because God knew what was going to come from you, and and I I read this. I read this in something, and and it was like, what if you didn't have good parents because God knew who you were gonna encounter and have children with, and they knew that they weren't gonna be a good parent. I think I'm saying it wrong, but I'm gonna say it in the next episode where I can say it right, and I'm gonna just say it. Just it was like maybe what you didn't have should have taught you of how to be. Oh, I hate that I just butchered that. Hi, Omega. Omega is so sweet. He knows that I'm recording, and um he tried to discreetly pass by in his coming home from school today. But I'm sure the twins are not going to do that, and they're just going to walk straight on through. And so, um, yeah, it's just like, you know, I wanted to. Hi, August and Austin. Sorry about that. He didn't need to be judged. Although I wanted to judge him, he didn't need that. And I'm pretty sure he's encountered others that that wanted to judge him, but and I'm pretty sure somebody probably would have judged me for me avoiding the things that they thought was just common sense. Like, oh, that's common sense. You should have known how to deal with that. I've never dealt with that before, so I didn't know. And so I had to one step outside of myself and um my desire to judge um and put myself in his shoes. Um, he said that there's no men in his life that ever really showed him how to be a man, and and I kept thinking like that should make you want to show up and show your kids that so that the cycle doesn't continue. And so me saying that he was like, you know what, you're right. He said, I've never thought about it like that. He saw, um, his dad avoided him. And when with his kid's mom, he felt like he saw why his dad avoided his mom. His kid's mom, he said made it hard for him to be there, which I get it. Um, but I don't, I, and I can't speak on that because I've never been that mom that tried to make it hard, for the dad to show up. And so I I spoke to him about the his mindset and about why like avoiding things. And so I told him avoiding things doesn't make them go away. Like your kids are not going to go away because you avoid them. They're still there. They still need help and they're still going to go without they're going to go without their father, their biological father. They're going to go without feeling loved by the man that created them. They're going to and that's going to cause 3 counts cuz it's 3 kids. It's going to cause 3 counts of bad cycles. It's 3 people, and they're all 3 of them are gonna take that however they want to take it, even though it's the same dad. Just because you grew up in the same household doesn't mean you're receiving the same um, version, or um, you're taking in what's going on the same way. And so, 3 people. I said that's 3 people that may just hate you. Um, that come from you that are supposed to carry on your legacy, that are supposed to 2 of which are gonna carry on your name, your last name, uh, and you don't want that to be strong. You don't want that to be good. You don't want that to be healthy. And so here you are. You've avoided this for so long, and now it's time to take accountability for all of which you avoided. So whatever fees and fines and uh build up that has accumulated because of the time that you've avoided, you got to pay that. That's one you got to pay. You got to pay the price for the fact that you put it off. You avoided it. Pay that price and make things right and maintain whatever. It's like, okay, I had to pay $50. I had to pay $50. I had to pay $50. Okay. So I had to pay the $50. But I bet you I didn't put myself in a position to pay those fees again. No, I know what avoiding it is gonna cost me. And so first things first, whatever it is that you're avoiding, face it. That's one. Take accountability. Whatever comes with it, go ahead, take it. Take it. It could have been better had you handled it earlier. However, you not handling it earlier, cost you what it cost you. We're not gonna cry over that. Um, that's water under the bridge. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep moving. Okay, what is it that? Okay, what am I having to deal with? You're gonna have to take it. You're gonna have to, and then once you get yourself past once you face whatever it is that you've been avoiding, don't put yourself back in a position to have to do that again. It's an uncomfortable feeling. I was at the DMV just like I'm going to jail. Saw I saw a police walking. I was, oh, you here for me? Book me. Somebody come get me. I was just like I was nervous. I thought I was going to jail. I was going to jail. Whole time I just had to pay $50. It wasn't that bad. Now I'm not going to say that whatever it is that you're avoiding is not going to cost you a lot. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're not going to jail. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that the price that you have to pay um isn't a price that that you can afford right now. I'm not saying that you can't afford it, you know? I'm not saying that it's going to be a little, I'm not saying it's going to be a lot. However, whatever it is holding you back from what's next, you know? Um, Say I wanted to buy a new car. I wouldn't have been able to buy a new car because I'm sitting here not buying a car because I owe $50. Didn't even know. I didn't even know because I was so afraid to face it. And when I finally was bold enough to just go ahead, swallow my pride, and do whatever it was, I was like, "You mean tell me that's all?" And I was embarrassed at myself. Like I was like, "No, come on now, Kier." And it was funny. It's funny now, but then I was like, "Oh God." And so whatever it is that you're avoiding, for whatever reason, why you're avoiding it, pray about it. That's number one. Ask God to give you peace in your heart and your mind to take on the things that you've been avoiding, boldly and with pride, and it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Do all the things that you need to do in this season so that you're prepared and you're in position for what's next. Whatever is next, it's just waiting on you to stop having all this stuff chasing behind you. Get all this stuff from over your head. Get all this stuff from over your head so that you are in position for what's next. So that you have the education, you have the knowledge, you have the patience, you have the um, temperance, you have everything, all the tools that you need to go to the next step. And I'm not only talking to you, I am talking to myself as well, um, because it's necessary. We have to learn to face our fears. We have to learn to face the things that we've been putting off, the things that make us anxious. That anxiety is not going to consume me. That anxiety is not going to consume you. That anxiety is not going to make the step that you're at your last step. You're not going to be stagnant, Kiara. You're not going to be stagnant, listener, because you get anxious at the thought of facing your fears, facing your responsibilities, facing what's next for you. Um, it's time for us to get in position. What's next is coming. It's coming very, very soon. And I'm excited about it, not only for myself, but for you as well. And I'm ready. I am ready. And we're not going to say that we're ready just because it sounds good. We're going to put some action behind that. And we're going to go ahead to that next step. We're going to do what it is that God called us to do. We're going to be who God called us to be. And all the things, y'all. What's next is beautiful. What's next is ours. And we're going to own it. And we're going to embrace it. And we're going to love it. And we're going to the next level. We're going to the next level, y'all. I'm excited. Um, yeah, I think that's it, really, guys. Face it. Face it. Go like this. If you're listening, we're going like this. Face it. It's time to face it. Um, in a later episode, I am going to reference this episode, and I'm going to share with you exactly what it is that I've been avoiding. Am I ready to talk about it now? No, but I will. And once I'm comfortable, once I get things at where I want them to be, where I'm comfortable, and then I'm gonna share. And so I'll put a little pin in this episode, so that I can remember to talk to you guys about it, which I'm pretty sure that I am because it's gonna be big. And so, I love you guys with my whole heart. Again, happy Thursday to y'all. It is April. Um, and I hope y'all didn't let nobody trick y'all yesterday, the April Fools. But because we're not fools, but it is April. And so we're gonna go ahead and move forward. I love you guys with my whole heart. Can't wait to see y'all next week. Um, and yeah, hasta la vista. Mwah. Love y'all.